Right. So before I start planting, I thought it would be a good idea if I stopped for a moment and showed you exactly what I was going to plant this year. Now, a lot of this is for the bees. This is not part of my edible landscape. This is just things that will provide pollen and nectar to the bees and bring in some other wildlife like goldfinches and a lot of birds and butterflies and things of that nature. Because to be honest with you, I love to sit out in the backyard in the summertime and just watch nature, gather around. With the exception of squirrels. I do not like squirrels. They keep getting into my bird feeder, and I hate it. So if any of you have a solution that I can use to keep the squirrels out of my bird feeder, comments below. I'd love to hear it. Let me just tell you, before I even begin, see, now I'm off on a tangent. I did see a video, and I don't know where it had to be on YouTube somewhere, and I'm not sure who did it, or maybe it was actually on the news. But a lady came up with a great solution to keep the squirrels off of her bird feeder. She had a bird feeder on a pole, and what she did is this is ingenious, she wrapped a slinky on the bottom of the bird feeder that covered the poles, and when the squirrels would climb up the pole, before they got to the bird feeder, they would have to grab a hold of the slinky, the metal slinky, to get traction to get up to the feeder. The minute they grabbed a hold of it, it would spring them right down to the ground. They would let go, the slinky would go back to the top, and they would be stuck on the ground. That actually worked. Unfortunately, it will not work for the type of bird feeder I have. What are you going to do? But back to what we were talking about. These are the flowers that I'm going to be planting out in the yard for the birds, the bees, the animals, and the trees, and all the fun things that are out there. This is not my edible landscape, although I do believe I read somewhere that you can eat dandelion. I know I've had dandelion wine before. That's something they used to make in Ohio. But I believe that you can eat the dandelion greens as a salad or part of a salad. I'm not sure, but dandelion is one of the things that I'm going to be planting. Even though I received a comment below several videos back when I said that I was going to be planting dandelion, not to plant dandelion in my yard because it's invasive and I'll never get it out of there. But my backyard is kind of wild anyways, but I may take you up on that and actually plant these down on the levee on the lake here. At least the bees will be able to get to them and they won't tear up my yard and get in the neighbor's yard. But dandelion. Some other things that I'm planting for the bees. Dutch white clover. I've thrown out tons of this stuff. This is my second bag, and this is like a 20-pound bag. I've put this everywhere. I've got this around my grapevines, around my garden. I've got it littered throughout my yard. Again, my backyard is just a weedy mess anyway, so I'm going to make sure that the weeds that come up are beneficial to the bees. So, Dutch white clover. Buckwheat. I throw this off in the weeds around the lake and down by the shore, and this will give the bees something to eat on in the fall and make the honey a little bit dark. Some people like that dark honey. I haven't really had that much honey from it, but the bees like it, and I've used quite a bit of this bag. Now these are some orange sunflowers. These aren't the big yellow ones that you see. These are small orange ones, and these attract the butterflies, the bees, and the goldfinch. I'll put a picture up there from where I planted them last year. These are really nice. These are actually the seeds that I harvested last year from last year's crop. Black-eyed Susans. I don't know whether or not the bees like these. I believe they do. They're a pretty flower. They're yellow. I don't really know whether or not they have nectar, but I'm pretty certain they're going to have pollen. Showy goldenrod. Now this is not your weed variety of goldenrod. This is the highbrow version of goldenrod. This is the full-blooded, we're going to the dog show version of the goldenrod. This is the good stuff. So I'm going to be planting this out there and see if it comes up. And if so, I hope the bees like it. Maybe it'll spread around the lake. Butterfly weed. I believe this is just a version of milkweed. Maybe I'll get some monarch butterflies. But some butterfly weed. I'm going to plant this out there. Now I have to get this out there this week if I'm going to break the dormant cycle of the seeds and actually get this to bloom. So we'll see. This may or may not work. These are diantha. Now these, I buy these not for the bees and not for anything other than me. I plant these around my front porch. These smell really good. It grows like grass, but it gets these little purple flowers. Well, depending on the variety that you get, they can be purple, white, red. These are Arctic ice or Arctic fire, so I believe that these are going to be like a light purple, but these put off a wonderful fragrance. They're great to put around your walkway. When people walk up, they'll smell it, and it's beautiful. All right, this is considered purple dandelion. It's antler chicory. Got a nice big bag of that, nice pound of it. And I'm going to throw this everywhere, and we'll see what happens. Actually, I've got 2 bags of it, so we'll see what happens with the antler chicory this year. It's purple, and I understand that bees like purple flowers, supposedly. And that being said, some sea holly. I don't know exactly whether or not the bees are going to enjoy this, or whether it will even grow in this area. They say it would grow in region 8, and I'm in region 8, so sea holly, we're going to give that a shot. All right, this is some catmint. It's another purple flower. I'm going to plant some catmint. I don't know whether that's for cats or bees. I hope the bees are going to like it. I hope it doesn't attract the cats, but then again, maybe the cats will eat the squirrels and I won't have to worry about solving the squirrel problem on my bird feeder. All right, what do we have here? Some lavender. That's going to smell just lovely. Love it. Some salvia, more purple flowers. Now this one, it's another non-weed variety of what we generally consider a weed out there. This is a full-bred, full-blooded Queen Anne's lace seed. I love Queen Anne's lace in the wild. It's going to be interesting to see what these look like compared to the wild ones, but Queen Anne's lace. And I know the bees like these because when I was a kid, I remember seeing bees on these all the time. You would always look for the Queen Anne's lace that had the purple heart in the center of it. Beautiful flowers. More salvia. This bucket is sticky. This is my feeder bucket. I washed it out, but I guess I missed some of the sugar water in there. I'm surprised the bees haven't come into my shop and found it. Usually they are flying around the shop. Shasta daisies. Quite a few of those seeds. More Shasta daisies. Another 10,000 black-eyed Susan seeds. Can you imagine if I planted 10,000 seeds and I got 10,000 flowers? That'd be crazy. It would look like a botanical garden around here. And last but not least, now this doesn't include all the bulbs that I've already planted. I've put crocus and a bunch of bulbs down there. And those are actually starting to come up right now. Now this packet, I'm not sure what these are really because I don't think I've ever seen them before. I may have seen them in the wild, but apparently bees really like these. I got these from Better Bee. It even says so on the package. This is rapini, and I've never planted these before, but we're going to see what they look like. I'm going to plant them this year and see if they come up. I'll mix these in with the chicory in yellow and purple. It goes really good together. Maybe the bees will dig on it. But that's it. That's what I'm going to be planting as far as for the bees. As far as for the me's, I'm going to be planting a couple of avocado trees this spring. My wife loves avocados and fast-growing trees. I'll leave a link below in case you want to go there. Love it. Fast-growing trees has some cold, hardy avocados, which means that I can actually plant them in the yard in Georgia, and they are going to grow in the cold winters that we get. The cold winters, comparatively speaking, for Georgia. I know that some of you are up north and your cold winters are. I read a comment from somebody the other day. They got a Minnesota minus 15 degrees. Well, we don't get that cold here, and I don't think the avocado plants are going to survive there. However, got some cold hardy avocados. They're going to be going out next to the lake. I also plan on planting more blueberries this year. My fruit trees are doing well this year so far. I'm going to remove an ornamental peach that I believe I featured in the beginning of the last video or one of the last videos, blooming. I'm going to tear it out, move it, and I'm going to replace that in the courtyard that I've got in front of the house with a Lapin's cherry tree. I'm going to try to keep the birds off the cherry tree. If not, the birds are welcome to eat the cherries. There might be a few left for me, but ideally what it will do is provide food and shade in front of the front window. So that's something else that I'm going to be working on. So with all that said, I have to get to work, and I will cut back in later, or maybe even provide an update later to show you what the progress is of the planting and whether or not any of this stuff is actually coming up. So until next time, thanks for watching. Please hit the like, comment if you have something to say, if you have any advice, any flowers that you think I should be planting. Remember, I'm in zone 8, but if there's anything that you think I should be planting for the bees, let me know. I'd love to get it out there and get it growing this year and see if I can make it happen. But like, comment, subscribe, and if you know someone who likes bees or beekeeping or might like this channel, do me a favor, share it, push it all to some of your friends, and see if they're interested in it. I would certainly appreciate it. I put a lot of effort into these videos, and I try to make them good and entertaining and informative as I can. Not to mention, you get to learn from all the mistakes that I make, and I can tell you, just a side note, the little nuke that I had out there, well, I moved that into a small hive, and they've been getting robbed out ever since I put them there. I don't know whether it's going to make it. I hope it is, but I don't know if it's going to make it, so we will see. I've got an update coming on that, and it may actually be here before this video. Don't know which one you're going to see first, because I'm recording this all in the same weekend. But that being said, like, comment, subscribe, and thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day.